So at this point of time, we have got PictoBlox installed in the computer, and now we will open it by simply typing PictoBlox here, and you can see the icon pops up. This is the first screen that you'll see once the software is open. So it enables you to use the junior blocks also for ages close to 4 plus. Then you have the blocks which is used for robotic programming and all, and it also enables you to use Python language for coding. So we will start with blocks for now. Once you click on the blocks, this is the interface that you will be landing upon, the interface of PictoBlox. Before we go ahead, I would quickly brief you about the sections and how we go about programming it. So this software is inspired from a Scratch programming language made by MIT USA, which is based out of Google Blockly framework. Many companies have made drag and drop based programming based on Scratch only, which is open source. So the interface look like this only. It have certain colors at the left extreme. These are different colors you can see here: blue, purple, green, orange. And when you click on them, you see the section just next to it, motion and other blocks are changing. So this section is called block palette because these are blocks. You drag these blocks and drop it here in this area which is at the center, and this area at the center is called your scripting area. Okay, now what is script and what program we are writing? We are writing program first of all to make some visual animations, some visual games here, okay, which will be controlled by keyboard. There will be many events as we have in video games, to press an up button, down button, and start button, left, right. All of these events we can configure for these sprites and create games. You can create scenarios. Much can happen here. Okay, and this software can also be used to program hardware, which is your Quarky bricks or any other bricks which comes and can be connected. ESP32 bricks also. Okay, all of that happens through this section. As all the software have a menu bar, this is a menu bar having file where you can find new, if you want to make a new program, save the existing one, sharing, and all these options. Examples are also there. We'll come to all of these one by one later on. Then you have got edit option where you can find undo, redo. Other tutorials are there for making different animation based programs. Then the section comes for the board. So this is part where if you are using a Quarky board, you select a Quarky board, and then it asks you to locate the port. If you have connected the board using the serial port or the USB, or if you are connecting Quarky using the Bluetooth, you can connect it from here. Okay, so when we come and we'll connect the board, I'll show this part in detail. If you're working with ESP32, you can click here and select the board. And whenever board selection is done, you select any particular board, you see the blocks changes accordingly. So here ESP32 blocks are there. Then actuator blocks they have made. Then sensor blocks they have made. Okay. Different type of blocks are there which we can use in our robotic programming with Quarky or ESP32 based bricks. From AI Miracle also, we are using this type of bricks which is based on ESP32, and it can be easily programmed using these blocks. Before we go ahead into this part, we will simply learn how to make basic programs in PictoBlox. So we will not be using any board or any connection. We will be simply working with the stage and the motion part for now. Okay, so this part, as I have said earlier, this is the part which is the menu bar, and here your connection, everything is shown. Okay, then you have got mode. Mode is when you want to transfer the program. So it basically, it's by default it is selected as stage. Stage, this part is called stage. Generally, when the puppet dance, they dance in a stage. So this is why this part is called stage. These sprites you can consider as a puppet, and you make them move using these instructions. Okay, how to do it? I'll quickly show it through a very interesting program. Okay, so this part where the sprite dance is called stage. So by default the mode is set to stage. When you want to upload the code on the brick such that it should work offline, you have to click on upload mode, and then it switches the mode like this. So certain blocks will not be useful, like this move blocks. Then you have to use these blocks only, which is because when we're talking of offline, yeah, it means we are talking about a brick that we want to program using this code, which will be transferred. This is C++ code which is written out of these blocks, and it is transferred permanently to the brick. So when you switch it on, it react as per the program you have made. So that is the mode, and you have to use this upload code for uploading code into the brick. We'll go back to a stage mode to understand the basics of blocks. As we know that this part where you see different colors, this is your block palette, this is your scripting area, and this is your stage, and this animated cartoon feature which is here, and there are many of them which I'll show how to add, is called sprite. So you want to add a new sprite, you click here in this section. You add a new sprite, anything that you want, like a bat, okay, or if you want to add any other sprite, you can simply go and add the sprite like this. If you want to remove any sprite, you can click on delete icon and the sprite will be gone. There's a reason for me to select these two sprites. We'll make a small program here now, wherein we'll make this bat hover around in the sky and this chick will move on the ground in a jungle. So we have to add a jungle background also. So the background will select for the stage in this section, choosing a backdrop. You can see when you hover around this icon, it gives you a tooltip like this and shows that it's a backdrop thing. You click here and you select a relevant backdrop. For me, for now, I think this one seems good. So we have got castle, a road going to the castle, and the chick on a, so it seems like a jungle, and the castle goes. Now the scenario is the bat moves, hovers in the sky, and the chick moves on the ground. Okay, so how to make a program to do that? Then when I say the chick should move on the ground, it should move like this, but it will be a passive animation, no interest, yeah. So this software gives you options to make it more lifelike, animated, and for that purpose you see these tabs here. Okay, so the first tab is by default selected where you find the blocks. The second tab is a costume tab. In this tab you see there are different pictures for the same sprite. Okay, now you see this makes the chick eat something from the ground. The animation is made such that the impression will be like the chick is trying to eat something from the ground and the bat is moving on that. So now we can see the animation given for each sprite by selecting the sprite. So now we have selected bat. So for bat we have these many faces. So the bat is shouting here, the bat is opening its wings, closing its wing. The flapping of the wings can be done by choosing these two options. Okay, and if you want to have an expression of shouting, here is the expression of shouting. You want to have an expression of sleeping, here is sleeping. Now our task here is to make the bat hover. For hovering, this is the two faces I need. Okay, and if I want him to shout also, I can make this one, third one. Okay, so I can make him switch between two and then do this also. So this is not relevant for me, so I'll simply click this one. After deleting the non-relevant faces, we are left with these three faces, which I find this is also not relevant to us. So we should let go this one also. So now we are left with these two faces which make it flap its wings like this and move ears also. Now we go back to the blocks tab. In the blocks tab we can see there is a motion section. Yeah, here motion, blue colored blocks. Now we have to start scripting for all of these sprites. Yeah, so we select the sprite whichever I want to write code for. So at the moment I'll write it for chick. Okay, so I'll select the chick and it will show me all the blocks when I click on the motion section. Now I want the chick to simply, because the chick do not have any costume which shows it is moving, it can only change its faces to eat and it can make noise. Yeah, so we'll simply make it stand somewhere at a comfortable position and then change its costumes, and this all will do when the flag should be clicked. So the program will start only when the flag is clicked. For that purpose, we'll go to event and we'll click the flag event. We'll drag it and drop it over here, which is our scripting area. Now all the motion animation related thing that you'll find it here in the looks section. So we'll bring in the next costume. We want to put this whole thing in a continuous loop so that it should keep changing the costumes and run it. So we have added the relevant blocks here. You can see when I click on flag, it continuously starts changing the costume, but it's too fast, so it do not give us the looks we want. So what we'll do, we'll add a small weight here and we'll make it 0.5 second. So it will look as if the chick is actually eating something from the ground. Okay, now we want the bat to move and hover around the sky, and the bat should be not as big as this one because it should be small. So we can change the size of the sprites also in Scratch. So first we select the sprite. When you click on the stage and select the sprite, it automatically does it for you like this. Okay, and now we can start writing code for this particular sprite. But we want to make the size of the sprite smaller before we code it. So we can do it from here. We can make it 50%, the size option which is shown here. 50% seems to be too small. We can make it maybe 60%, quite bigger. Okay, so as we can see that it's in the sky, so it should be small. Yeah, and that's why we have made it small. We select the sprite and then now. Similarly, the way we did it for the chick, there has to be an event, and we want the event to be same for both the sprite. The event is an act which basically starts your program or which basically triggers an action. So if I'm making a game, I may use arrow keys as up, down, left, right, and that will again be an event. But for now I need only one event, which is to start the program, because it's an animation thing. So I'll use when flag is clicked again. Okay, or if I want to use space also, but then I have to click two buttons for two different sprites if I use two different events. So that's why I'll not use a different event. I'll simply use a flag, and now I'll write a code for this one, and this will be very interesting to understand because we'll make it move in the stage, hover from here to here. Okay, and we'll also make it flap its wing more like an animation. So for move we have got instructions which is here. So when I click here and I stop it and I click on move, the chick will again start, but every time I click on fashion, then only one step it moves. But I want this to happen continuously. So as you know that we have just now made a use of function which is there in the control section, and we call it loops. In programming, if you want something to happen continuously, you put that particular function or particular object in a loop. I will simply use a repeat loop for 10 times now. So see, when I click the green flag now, it makes the sprite move little longer in the stage. See, but it is not moving continuously with this loop also. I can also make it 100 times, but that also will make it calculatedly moving. Yeah, so it will move and stop at some point of time, but I want it to move continuously. So the answer is quite obvious for it. It is in the screen only. Here we have got a forever loop for it. So we remove this loop and put the move option in the forever loop and delete the repeat one by dragging it back into the block section and attach the forever to the event. Now you see when I click the flag, moves, but why it is not coming back? It's stuck at the corner of the stage. We thought it should be coming back, yeah, moving, hovering around the screen. We have to look for a solution for this, yeah. So we'll find a solution here in the motion only, because it's stuck. We want to move it back. So see, you read all the blocks, whatever written on the blocks, you read it, and it will tell you much about the blocks. point the direction, point towards, change x, y. It is about the coordinate which I just explained, that every sprite have x, y coordinate. You move it anywhere in the stage, the coordinate for the sprite changes. See, and even the state, the coordinate for the sprite changes like this. Okay, similarly for this sprite also we have got coordinates. So what these instructions mean? If you see the last one here in the screen, if on edge bounce back, our bat is already on the edge of the stage. We want it to bounce back from there, so we drag it and drop it here. See, it is bouncing back. Okay, but then there's some problem. It is moving too fast. Second, it is inverted when it is coming back. We want to keep it as it is, so we have to set this rotation style from left to right like this. Now the bat is coming back as it is, but still it is like being dragged from one point to another. There's no animation in it. Now how we made this chick animate? By changing the costume. So we do the same for this one. We go to looks, because all the costume related things are there in looks, and we drag this next costume here. See, so flapping is started, but it's too fast again. So what we do to control it, as we have done in the earlier web, we make it wait. We delay the second change of costume and we make it 0.3 seconds. So this looks quite real. So this is how we have made program wherein we have created a scene, an animated scene of chick eating something from the ground and the bat hovering around in the sky. You can make it big like this, and you can also record your new animation by clicking on this option, and it saves the recording. Fine. So this is how we make a program, by dragging and dropping the blocks from block palette to scripting area and selecting the sprites. Now we'll make a program wherein we localize things, wherein we understand what is sensing.